So Tottenham are in a pretty similar boat to Manchester United. They, though, are 13th in the Premier League, and it's been a season plagued by injuries and plenty of frustrated fans. But could Ange Postecoglou and his side finally deliver that long-awaited trophy? We can speak to Tottenham fan Chris Cowlin now. Chris, how realistic is it that your side win the Europa League this season?
Hello to you both. Thanks for having me on. And of course, you never know in football, do you? You never know. But of course, Spurs are after a trophy. We haven't won a European trophy for 41 years. We haven't won a trophy, a domestic trophy, for 17 years. The trophies are way, way overdue at Tottenham Hotspur, but it has been a very, very difficult season. But in football, you never, ever know. Ange Postecoglou has said a number of times, especially to the media, I always win in my second season. So we're all living in hope. Of course, we've gone through a very difficult season. As you mentioned, 13th in the Premier League table. That is not good enough for Spurs. And then, of course, we went out of 2 domestic cup competitions in the matter of a couple of days. So all of our hopes now and all of our dreams this season are on the Europa League.
And if he wins that trophy, does it make up for a poor league finish?
I think if any Spurs manager comes in and wins a trophy after such a drought, I think everyone will be super happy. There has been a lot of discontent this season towards the board. There has been a lot of discontent amongst the fan base towards the manager, the players. Some fans have even turned on themselves. It's been difficult. It's been a really difficult ride. But, of course, we've gone through a major rebuild in these last couple of years under Postecoglou. We've gone through so many different managers, since 2019, going back to Pochettino days. We've had 7 different managers in the dugout, now up to Postecoglou. So it's been difficult. So anything that any manager can bring in terms of trophies, it would be hugely welcome.
Yeah, Sam's been the positive one. I'll be the negative one. If you don't get success in this competition, how much pressure then would Ange Postecoglou be under from the fan perspective?
If we don't get a European spot, I think that Postecoglou may be under pressure. But as I mentioned, you can't keep changing managers again and again. Under Daniel Levy's chairmanship so far, we've gone through so many different managers. I think that the board have been very sympathetic towards Postecoglou this season because of the amount of injuries that we've had so far this season, which has been an awful lot. And it has been very, very frustrating. A lot of players have stepped up to the mark to put a few positives in there. Jed Spence, Archie Gray, Bergvall have been absolutely brilliant this season, and perhaps they wouldn't have got the opportunities had we not have had all of those injuries. But it's going to be an interesting one. A lot of people thought that Postecoglou may have gone even by now in the league position that we are in, and we're only in the Europa League. But I feel like everyone at the football club now is pinning their hopes and dreams on lifting this trophy.
What's the feeling in the ground at the moment? Is it as flat as it's felt for a long time? Obviously, there's the discontent towards Daniel Levy. There's concerns about whether Ange Postecoglou is the right man. Is it the worst it's been around the club when you get in the ground in terms of the atmosphere for a long, long time?
The atmosphere in the last game against Manchester City was extremely quiet. It was very dull. You could even hear the managers shouting. You could hear the guys over in the other stand shouting. It was that quiet. You could hear a pin drop sometimes. So that is not good because you want a great atmosphere, especially in the type of stadium that we've got. But I suppose the word that I should use is frustration. There is a lot of frustration amongst the fan base right now because if you're going to go for a rebuild, you're going to go for a new manager in appointing Postecoglou. I believe that you need to give him the players and the tools to move in the right direction.
Is this one of the biggest games you've had as a Tottenham fan?
Well, the AZ one?
Yes, coming up.
Well, we must go far in this competition. As I mentioned, we haven't won a European trophy for 41 years. I feel like this is a great opportunity to go far and lift this trophy. Of course, in the next round, it would be very, very difficult if we got past AZ, Ajax or Frankfurt. So, there are never, ever easy games in any European competition, especially away from home. I go to every single game and the atmosphere in the away games are very, very difficult. But we've got to go all out. We've got to go strong. Romero, Van der Ven, Solanke should be back for 1 or 2 of these legs against AZ Alkmaar, which gives us a huge opportunity to go through to the next round.
John, just quickly, what kind of opponent are AZ Alkmaar for Tottenham?
It's going to be very tough. They've won 6 of their last 8 games. Last round, they had an amazing win against Galatasaray. Galatasaray had pointed their season towards winning the Europa League. They brought in Victor Osimhen. They did a big video, quite a strange video, where he walked into a masked ball, and at the end of the corridor there was the Europa League trophy. That was their target, and AZ Alkmaar beat them 4-1 in one of the legs. They got Troy Parrott, who used to play for Tottenham, 17 goals this season. They have played Tottenham already this season, and Tottenham won, but I think this is going to be a tough test. I would make Tottenham favourites with the players they're getting back from injury, but still, after what happened for AZ Alkmaar against Galatasaray, this is going to be a tough test for Spurs.
Chris, do you feel confident after hearing that?
I do feel confident. I actually went to the Galatasaray away game and, it said welcome to hell, and it was hell there. So for AZ Alkmaar to go to Galatasaray and get a result, superb. But Spurs need to be on their game. They need to put absolutely everything into this game, energy galore. Postecoglou must go with the strongest possible 11. As I mentioned, the players coming back, that would be a huge bonus for us. And I do feel confident in going through. We have played AZ Alkmaar already in the league phase, beating them 1-0. So I am confident that we're going to go through.
Chris, thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you.
So, John, big week of Europa League action. Let's take a quick look at the fixtures. Which ones stand out to you?
Fenerbahce against Rangers. So Jose Mourinho taking on a British side, and Rangers, of course, just changed their manager with Barry Ferguson coming in. What a chance for him to make an amazing impression. It's been a mixed start, but he'll be relishing that, being up against Jose Mourinho, who's been in the headlines in the last few weeks. I'd also pick out Ajax against Frankfurt. Ajax are really rejuvenated this season. Jordan Henderson had a difficult time during the January transfer window when there were rumours he might be going to Monaco. But he's got a chance of winning a trophy this season, not only the Europa League, but also the Eredivisie title. So I'd also pick out that fixture as well.
So plenty of big teams that could face each other as well as we move to the knockout rounds. Put you on the spot. Who is your favourite for the Europa League?
Oh, Tottenham have a really good squad if all the injured players are back. So I'm going to back them to have a good run in the Europa League.
Nice one. Thank you very much, John.